Are you panicking to think about whether you want to buy Bitcoin right now? Don't. That is fear of missing out. You really need to wait until the price action of Bitcoin goes back down again, and it will, right? With that said, my name is David Thorne. Welcome to this video. Now, I am not a financial advisor. I am not a professional trader. I'm just someone sat here with a microphone, looking at a screen, talking to you about what I think I'm going to do with my Bitcoin. And in the past couple of videos, I've been correct. And 2 years ago, when I bought Bitcoin, I was fear of missing out and I was wrong. And over that 2 years, I've learned a lot and I know what signs to look out for, when to buy it and when not to buy it. And my portfolios are now all in profit. And over the past week, I've also made quite a bit of money from it too. And I'm going to continue to make money from it too, because there is momentum in the market. And they're the simplest signs you need to look out for, right? And one of the biggest signs is don't buy when it's up, right? That's the simplest one. And you can go to economics school and learn that literally in the first 45 minutes of sitting there, and they will say buy low, sell high, right? And that is what the market makers are doing. And that's what all the banks are doing. That's what all the institutions are doing. They are buying low and selling high. The one thing that the banks can do is they can invest lots of money, huge volume at one time to push the market and then make all of the other people jump on that FOMO train, which pushes the market even higher. And when they're finished taking all of their profits nice and slowly, right, they will either push the price up once again to take even higher profits if they think there is enough energy in the market. And if they don't, if they believe the energy is then just gone, they'll keep taking profits slowly, trying not to move the market whatsoever. And then once they've finished and once they know that all their profits are taken, they will use the final bit to spike to basically go through the whole order book and make the price of Bitcoin or whatever it is then spike down for them to start the game all over again. And that is the exact thing that the banks, the institutions, the people, the smart money with the massive money will do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. With that said, I come to my points. They are doing it on a long-term scale, right? They don't care about putting their money in here and getting it out up here, because they've got other money that they can get in other places. So let's have a look at Bitcoin on a quarterly level now, right? If it's your intention to get into Bitcoin long term, and I mean long term, I mean like years, like 10 years at least, which is my reason for doing it. I'm 45 years old and I want this Bitcoin for when I'm 67 years old and I retire, and it's going to be my extra retirement fund. All right. And hopefully I can retire beforehand just using Bitcoin. But this is just hopes and dreams, but we need to try and work out how we can fulfill these hopes and dreams. So when we see the quarterly, each candle is a quarterly candle, we're going to see that at one point it's got to correct. So it's got to come back down again. If it goes up any further, let's say to 80,000 over by the summer, it's got to come back down to say 52,000. So either way, whether you buy now, it might go up to 80, but it's going to correct again and come back down again. So why don't you just wait until it comes down to here, and then it will go back up again? Because you have to have logic in the market. You've got to. So let's go to the monthly level now. We can see that I'm not doing any technical analysis here, but you can see this pattern here kind of looks like this pattern here. So I would expect, using my brain and my logic, I just see these patterns, I see it, and I think, wait a minute, that's highly priced at the moment. That's overpriced. If Apple is saying we're going to sell our phones for 1,400, right? And you think, wait a minute, I bought my phone for 1,100 last year. Why would I want to buy the same phone for 1,400 now, when I know that there were people that were buying it for 1,100? It's just because there's a supply chain problem, or there's something problem making the price of the phones higher. But once that supply chain problem has gone, the price will dip once again, and you'll end up buying those phones off the other people because they bought it at too much of a higher price. So don't go into the market with FOMO, all right? Fear of missing out. Don't do it. Let's move down to the weekly basis now here. And let's see how FOMO says now. Well, look, logic, this is overpriced. There is so much energy in the market right now. Yes, it could go up even higher, all right? I am not saying it won't go up even higher. There is a high chance it will go up even higher. It's about a 33% chance, actually, it will go higher. The other 33% chance is it will go sideways, and the other 33% chance is it will go down. So there we go. There's the probabilities of it. Now, but which one of those probabilities is more likely in the short term, right? And how far is it going to go? So in the weekly term, it looks like it might go sideways for a little bit for a couple of weeks. But it could go higher. But we could get one of these, like these wicks going up and down again. So even if next week gives us the same type of candle, right? Then it means that the price is going to wick as well, up and down, which means you could just wait till next week when it wicks down again, and it could make a new high as well. So this is the gamble that you've got to take buying in here. Why don't you just set a limit order and say, I'm going to wait 1 week, right? And if Bitcoin is going to 100,000 and next week it goes to 67,000, you're still made money. You still made money. But if that patience pays off, and paying off it will dip again, right? It might not dip for more than an hour. It might not dip for more than 3 hours or 4 hours, but it will dip again, all right? And I promise you that I will have another video. I won't say I told you so, but I'll just say reference this video, all right? Let's have another look again. Oh, now we're getting this massive picture now. So we're now on a 4-hour scale. So if your long-term scale was say like 3 months now, we're moving way out here. We're looking right, okay? We're not looking what's happened in the market left. We're looking at the future. I'm not talking about trading here. We're talking about your money. What is your money that you invest today going to look like in this up here? Is it going to be less value? Is it going to be the same value? Is it going to be more value? This is the questions I'm asking myself about when I invest my money, right? And I see here, oh look, there's this big wick of this candle here. There's this big wick of this candle here. Well, there's some price imbalance in there, and we now know that the price did come down in a heartbeat down to 48,500. So that must mean that there were people buying down here and there were a ton of people selling. So if those people were in the market and they've gone, well, then why is the price still up here? So it gives us a clue to say, hey, there's people down here and there's enough people up here that want to take profits again down here, i.e. banks, institution, market makers, because they know all the retail traders are going to take that bait and they're going to jump on the FOMO train and they're going to buy here. Remember, if you're buying, someone else is selling. And if you're selling, someone else is buying, right? And the question you've got to ask yourself, all right, is that if you buy here and it goes all the way down to here, are you going to capitulate and sell, or are you going to hold and wait and have the patience to let it go up? If you are guaranteed going to do that, then put your money into it, put the money into a wallet, right? Take the private key, don't remember it, lock it up, give it to someone that you won't be able to speak to for 12 months and won't be able to see, and so you can't move it, right? And then come back in 12 months and see what it looks like, and it will be in the money. Guaranteed, right? Now, if it's not in the money in 12 months, come back in 24 months and it will be in the money, guaranteed, right? If you and if it's not in 24 months, come back in 36 months and it will be in guaranteed, right? But in 22 years, it will definitely be in profit. So don't worry about that. So my plan, right? And I'm certain that I'm going to make another video referencing this video in the future saying, the price went down to 48,000, maybe even further, and that is where I put in all of my trades. And I've got trades right down here. I've got trades waiting for Bitcoin to come here from 40,000 going all the way up to 50,000. All of this area waiting for this price to go here. And I'm patient. I'm going to sit there and wait and wait and wait for it to go there. And if it doesn't go there right now, I don't care. It will go there in the future, because as long as this money here comes out when I'm 67 years old, I don't care how, right? But just as long as it's worth more in the future than it was worth down here, all right? That is my only aim, but I'm not going to FOMO into this. I'm not. I would rather have my money in my bank, right, where I can see it and I can do something with it, and I can maybe invest it in something else, but it can sit here right now waiting for the target that I want to be. This is sniping. You know, I was in the army for 10 years, and I know about patience. I know about sitting and waiting for the right time, right? And moving positions sometimes. And that's the whole point. Sit and wait and be patient. Let's have a look on the hour line now. We're still getting this big area of liquidity down here, and this is going sideways. So someone is either redistributing right now, i.e. taking profits here, right, or they are accumulating, ready for another move up. Now, if there is another move up and it skips away from this candle, so be it. So who cares, right? I've now got another sell order around the 67,000 euro mark, where I'm happy to take profits from here. And once I've taken profits from here, I will then place limit orders with that money back down here for when it comes back down again. I don't care if it goes up. I'm going to take profits when it goes up. I'm not going to take massive profits, because every time it goes up, I need to use less and less Bitcoin to take the same amount of profits. So it's only an advantage to me. And if I need to put more money back in the future because it goes up, I will always wait for a dip, because I've got patience. With that said, don't get into the market when there is FOMO, right? And don't get into the market with FOMO. And the one thing that you want to use as an indicator, it's not a drone receiver. One thing I use as an indicator is the fear and greed index, right? And I look at this here and I see, okay, we've got extreme greed today. And we saw that we had the greed went down yesterday to 75, and last week went to 80. But if we look, yesterday went to 90. It went to 80, whatever, 82. It's still super high right now. So you want to be buying when there's like neutralness in the market. It's an equilibrium. People have agreed that the price is that value, right? When the sellers say this is how much I'm going to sell it for, and the buyers are happy with the selling price, right? And they don't believe they're going to get a better deal now or in the future. That's what the equilibrium price in economics is. So right now the price is overpriced, all right? It's not undervalued, it's overvalued, which means you've got to wait until it comes back down to an area where the market says this is the value, and that needs stability, right? It needs to come down, cool off. It needs to have a little bit of red, have a little bit of green, and once it goes sideways, having this range, right, a big range, that is signaling that people have agreed upon a stable price, all right? And now whether it goes then massively up or down in the future will be based upon other events that are outside of Bitcoin, that political events or environmental events or whatever these events that go on in the world, and they will move the market up or down. But we don't know those right now. A black swan event is going to make this dip like mad. All right. So we could just wait for a black swan event, but they don't happen that very often. But my point is don't get into the market with FOMO. To finalize, if you are willing to put your money in today, right, and not care about its value for the next 20 years or 10 years, right, and not take it out, buy today. It doesn't matter. But what I would advise is, rather than buying today in its entirety, buy some today and then buy some tomorrow, buy some the next day, buy some the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and keep on doing this. So separate your money down into, say, 50 increments or something, and just keep putting it in on a smaller piece at the same time every single day, all right? And don't change your plan, right? That is then get an average price. And like I said, you need to not care about that money. It needs to be a disposable funds, all right? So as long as that money is completely never required, not for emergencies either, it's long term, for retirement, for the future, for a house or something, don't put money into Bitcoin that you need. Only put money into Bitcoin that you don't need and you're willing to lose it, all right? Because it is a very volatile market and it can and will go up or down really, really fast, right? And the biggest sign right now that you've got is that people say gold doesn't have any value. Look at gold. It's the highest it's ever been right now. So gold is even overpriced. Gold is even agreeing with Bitcoin that the market says we need to put our money somewhere else. So if gold is really high, we see what happens with gold when it goes really high. It goes down really, really quickly. And you look at platinum and silver and so on, they all do that. They've all had their peaks and they've also had their troughs. So don't get fooled to come into the market with FOMO, because that's exactly what the other person wants, right? There is another person sat at that table waiting for you to come in and say, I want to buy Bitcoin. And they're like, I'll sell you my Bitcoin that I bought for 15,000 and I'm going to make loads of profit. And then I'm going to wait for you when you capitulate to buy it back again at a discount. Those are the people waiting for you to buy Bitcoin. Be the clever one, be the smart one, and buy the Bitcoin at the same time that those other people are buying Bitcoin from people that have capitulated. With that said, thank you very much for all of the support you guys have given me, guys, girls, ladies, men, or whoever, whatever, I don't care. Thank you very much for all the support that you've given me. Basically, thank you to all the humans on this planet that have supported my channel. That's what I was saying. I really appreciate it, and I'm amazed by the feedback so far. And yes, there has been a little bit of luck, a little bit of guessing in what I've said, but I've not said that I am a professional trader. I'm just using my logical thinking as a programmer. I'm using my rationality and reasoning to say what could happen and what is most likely to happen. I love probabilities, and I see the probability here of it going down and going down fast, but then going back up again. So, and or it will go up more and then it'll come back down again, same pattern. With that said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There's a lot of you subscribing, so definitely don't forget to subscribe, because I will be making more of these videos. Ciao, ciao, and goodbye.